What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update. As well as I'm going to give you a quick update on the impeachment trial of President Donald Trump that has started today and already has some, surprising things to say the least. Also, we're going to hear directly from the White House on the $1,400 third stimulus check, as well as the other things that are in the third stimulus check package, the $3,000 to $3,600 child stimulus checks, which is absolutely amazing that actually is going to be in the third stimulus check package and pretty much a certainty, as well as other things such as mortgage and rental assistance. And we will be hearing directly from the White House on several different things in the third stimulus check package today. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates regarding the third stimulus check package and the other buckets of money that we cover that are in these packages. And give this video a like, it really helps out our channel. Also, don't forget, I will have an 11 p.m. video for you tonight. So that's 11 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. West Coast time. So don't miss out on that one either. Former President Donald Trump's impeachment trial in the Senate started today. And we already have an initial vote, which is kind of going to show us how this is going to proceed and what is likely to happen. The Senate voted, and by a 56 to 44 margin, voted that the proceedings on this impeachment trial are constitutional. Only 6 Republicans joined with all the Democrats. This gives us a very high likelihood of what we're going to expect to see going forward. All 50 Democrats voting yes on the impeachment, and a few Republicans, we had 6 of them vote on this measure to basically continue on with the proceedings. Remember, they're going to need 17 Republicans to vote yes on the final outcome of the impeachment trial, which at this point I would think is very unlikely, as only 6 of them even voted that it was constitutional to even continue on with the proceedings. And then we had one of President Donald Trump's lawyers slamming the Democrats in an opening speech.
I was struck. I thought the House managers who spoke earlier were brilliant speakers. And I made some notes, and they'll hear about what I think about some of the things they said later when I'm closing the case. But I thought they were brilliant speakers, and I loved listening to them. And they're smart fellows. But why are the House managers afraid, and why is the majority of the House of Representatives afraid of the American people? I mean, let's understand why we are really here. We are really here because the majority in the House of Representatives does not want to face Donald Trump as a political rival in the future. That's the real reason we're here. And that's why they have to get over the jurisdictional hurdle, which they can't get over. But that's why they have to get over that in order to get to the part of the Constitution that allows removal. So that's nobody says it that plainly, but unfortunately I have a way of speaking that way. And the reason that I am having trouble with the argument is the American people just spoke. And they just changed administrations. So in the light most favorable to my colleagues on the other side of the aisle here, their system works. The people are smart enough, in the light most favorable to them, they're smart enough to pick a new administration if they don't like the old one. And they just did. And he's down there Pennsylvania Avenue now, probably wondering, how come none of my stuff is happening up at the Capitol?
So President Donald Trump's lawyer says some surprising things there, basically that the American people voted and they voted for a new administration. I'm sure former President Donald Trump didn't like him saying that, but he did say earlier, and that basically I think what most people are thinking, which kind of is true, that they're proceeding on with an impeachment hearing of a president who is not in office anymore. They're trying to impeach him, but he's not in office. And the reason is that they don't want to have to face him in the future as a future political rival or a future presidential race against Donald Trump in 2024. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that is true? Do you think they should be proceeding? It doesn't look like they're going to pass this, so hopefully they're going to get through this pretty quickly. Next up, let's go directly to the White House. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki. The nice thing is she's doing almost daily news press conferences, I should say, press briefings, giving us direct answers of what happened that day, what is going on with the third stimulus check package, and answering questions directly from reporters. And they're asking her the tough questions. So I go through these and I find the most relevant questions and show them to you guys. It's nice because we're getting answers directly on a daily basis on what is moving forward, what is happening, such as the $15 an hour minimum wage that is now included in this stimulus check bill, the $3,000 to $3,600 checks for children. So yeah, let's go directly to the White House at Jen Psaki.
Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. A couple of things to just update you on the top. As we've discussed previously in this room, the President and the administration are making the case directly to the country about the need to pass the rescue plan so we can finish the job and get $2,000 into the pockets of working families, so we can reopen schools safely, and so we can get economic relief to struggling Americans and communities. As part of that work, the President, the Vice President, and Treasury Secretary Yellen will meet this afternoon with business leaders to discuss the vital role that the American Rescue Plan will play in saving our economy and getting Americans back to work. Private sector leaders understand how important it is, and we've seen calls from across the political spectrum, from leading business groups to labor and progressive lawmakers, for Congress to act quickly in getting additional economic relief out the door. These calls have been echoed by leading experts and economists who have praised the plan, including top economic advisors to the last four presidents, both Democrat and Republican. And analysis after analysis has shown that the economic cost of inaction would be incredibly painful for the American people, something we saw last Friday with the latest month of weak job numbers. But they also know that we have a way to help workers and get our economy back by passing the rescue plan. So a couple of pieces of economic data you all may have seen. A CBO projection last week found that it would take the economy 4 years to bounce back and return to full employment without the rescue plan. Studies by the Brookings Institution and Moody's Analytics found that the economy could recover from the pandemic and return to full employment by the beginning of next year if the rescue plan is enacted. Moody's also found that passing the rescue plan would double economic growth, returning the economy to full employment a full year faster. A couple of other updates from our COVID team. You may have also seen this. Jeff Zients, the COVID coordinator, made a few announcements earlier this afternoon. Today, we announced the launch of our Federal Quality Health Centers, FQHC, vaccination program. Community health centers provide primary care services in underserved areas, reaching almost 30 million people. Under this new program, we will begin directly sending vaccine supply to community health centers, enabling them to vaccinate more of the people they serve, alongside other efforts like mobile health units and community vaccination centers. This announcement is another tool we are providing to state and local leaders in their work to reach underserved and hardest hit populations. Importantly, this program grew in part out of a suggestion from House committee chairs that the President had, of course, had a meeting with them on Friday, but even discussions prior to that. And he informed them during a call this morning that this program would be rolled out. Let's see, last few pieces. We also announced another increase in weekly vaccine allocations to states, tribes, and territories, bringing us up to 11 million doses. So overall, this after weekly increases the past 2 weeks, and it's a net 28% increase to states since we entered government. These announcements convey our steady drumbeat of progress and action by the federal government in our whole-of-government pandemic response. The President also will meet with members of the COVID response team in the Oval Office today to discuss their work and the next steps in shutting down the virus and getting American life back to normal.
A couple of questions on the impeachment and then the COVID package that President Biden is proposing. First, on impeachment. Today there's going to be a debate over the constitutionality of the process, whether it's constitutional to try to remove from office a former president. Does President Biden have any concerns that this trial could set a dangerous precedent for the institution of the presidency?
Well, President Biden, we put out a statement following the conclusion of the House vote just a couple of weeks ago, and he made clear in that statement that he felt the process should proceed as history, and many laws predetermine, and he is going to wait for the Senate to determine the outcome of this. But his view is that his role should be currently focused on addressing the needs of the American people, putting people back to work, addressing the pandemic.
Does he see it as constitutional?
I don't think that's for me or us to opine on. Obviously, he said that the process should proceed, and it's doing exactly that.
And let me ask.
And as I stated earlier, that was voted constitutional in the Senate, which, as we know, is controlled by the Democrats. 50 Democrats voted yes, it's constitutional to continue on with the trial for the impeachment, and 6 Republicans voted yes also. So it was voted yes, favor 56 to 44.
He said that the process should proceed, and it's doing exactly that.
And let me ask you, as millions of people tune in to watch this trial, presumably throughout the week, they're going to see the former president's lawyers argue, based on the briefs that they have filed, that some Democrats have used incendiary rhetoric. They are going to point to Representative Maxine Waters, for example, who in 2018 called on supporters at a rally to confront and at one point harassed Trump officials over their support of the child separation policy, the zero tolerance policy. That's something that Cedric Richmond said she had a constitutional right to express those views. So how does the White House view that as any different?
Look, Joe Biden is the president. He's not a pundit. He's not going to opine on the back and forth arguments, nor is he watching them that are taking place in the Senate.
Okay, let me ask you about the COVID relief package. Yesterday, the Ways and Means Committee Democrats proposed limiting the $1,400 direct payments to those making $75,000 or less. Is that something that President Biden supports, and does he have any concerns that progressives might not be on board with that?
Well, the president has conveyed from the beginning of this discussion that he's open to having a discussion about the thresholds. He has been firm in his resolve that Americans should be made whole on the $2,000 checks, which of course would mean maintaining his firmness on the $1,400 checks, right? But there's been a discussion about the thresholds and what those should look like. And he doesn't feel that families making over $250,000 a year should be the target of this relief. But there is a scale up, right? Even in the recent negotiations from the 75 and from the 150, it's just will reach a certain top thresholds where people would not receive relief.
So, but has he determined whether he would support that? Does he support 75,000 as being the threshold?
It's not the threshold. That's kind of who would receive the maximum amount. There is then a scale up beyond that. These negotiations are ongoing. We certainly support the discussions as they're happening, and certainly his view is that he's open to the discussion about making them more targeted and ensuring that people who need relief the most receive the relief.
So just to clarify, President Biden did say later that he does back the proposed income limits on the third stimulus check package. As we've seen Jen Psaki say there, $75,000 is just the starting point at which your check will be reduced. The checks are going to be $1,400 for adults, $1,400 for children, and $1,400 for adult dependents. $75,000 for a single would then reduce after $75,000, and when you get to $99,000 would be cut off completely. However, it does appear, at least at the moment, that head of household single filers would be able to go up to $112,000. We'll be getting more details on this. These are still up for change. This could change, but it's unlikely to change at this point. So $75,000 to $99,000. $99,000 is the hard cutoff for an individual, or double that for a couple. So basically $198,000. After that, a couple would no longer receive the third stimulus check, and that would also exclude them for the child stimulus checks, the $1,400 child stimulus checks, and the $3,000 to $3,600 child stimulus checks also. Those child stimulus checks are basically all the rage in the last 24 hours, as it has been confirmed that it will be $3,000 per child for ages 6 through 17 and $3,600 for children under the age of 6. And the IRS will actually begin sending these out monthly to families expected in July. They still have to pass this first, but this is expected to pass because the Democrats can pass this, the third stimulus check package, and everything in it all by themselves through the reconciliation process, of which they've already passed the beginning stages of that. They're kind of in the next stage right now. So basically, children ages 6 and over will receive $250 per month direct deposited into the parent's bank account or by check every single month, $250 per month for all children over the age of 6 through 17. And for children under the age of 6, $300 per month or $3,600. This is set right now to be for 1 year. So basically a 1 year stimulus of $3,000 to $3,600 with an addition of the $1,400 stimulus checks. But there's already Democrats talking about expanding this going further than 1 year. I will keep you updated. Also, Senator Bernie Sanders, who is probably the first or second most important person in the Senate, he's been kind of the driver for the larger stimulus checks and also the monthly stimulus checks of $2,000 per month. He seems to be on board with the income limits. Like I said, that was about the best case scenario that we could have gotten. Bernie Sanders says, "Congratulations to House leadership and the Progressive Caucus. It is absurd to create an income eligibility cap that would have meant 40 million Americans who got support under Trump's checks would not get them under Biden. Let's get this done." And basically what they're saying is that 40 million people would not have got checks if they would have lowered the income eligibilities to somewhere around $40,000 to $50,000. So that did not happen. So Senator Bernie Sanders seems to be in favor of this. Remember, these details are important because they need every single Democratic senator to vote yes on this. Like we've seen in the preliminary votes, we've had all 50 Democrats say yes, all 50 Republicans say no, and then the Vice President Kamala Harris was the tiebreaker vote for the 51st vote. And remember, you need 51 votes to pass with the reconciliation card or the upside down reconciliation card. If they don't get those 50 votes and then the 51st vote for the tiebreaker, then they'll have to go back and amend things to get every single vote. So, for example, if Bernie Sanders or Joe Manchin didn't like something enough to vote no to the whole package, well, then we wouldn't have a deal until they went back to that person and said, okay, what changes do you need for you to say yes to this package? As of right now, all 50 Democrats have said yes during the preliminary votes because they've already done several votes to pass the proceedings on the reconciliation part, which is an additional portion that they're going to need. And they've already passed at least the initial proceedings on that to pass it through the reconciliation proceedings or the reconciliation bill. This is like additional processes. So it's not as easy as in the past where the House said yes, the Senate said yes, and then it went directly to the president. The reason for this is that no Republicans are voting yes on the bill. So if there was 10 Republicans that would vote yes on it in the Senate and they could get 60 votes in the Senate, then they wouldn't have to do these extra proceedings and there wouldn't be kind of this extra like delay that we've had. Now remember, President Biden's only been in office, I think for, let me see here, a little bit over 2 weeks. So they are kind of moving decently fast. Now I know for a lot of people that's not quite fast enough, but these reconciliation proceedings have kind of added extra time to this third stimulus check package. The nice thing is for the next stimulus check package, the fourth stimulus package, which they call the infrastructure package and the Build Back Better package, which will have multiple different things of stimulus in there, they're already working on that. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said yesterday or the day before that they're already working on the fourth stimulus check package. And then we've seen another congresswoman today, I think it was a senator, said that her committee, because remember the different committees write the different parts of the bill, they're writing that part of the fourth stimulus package bill also. So that's good because we know these things takes time, so they're already starting to work on the fourth package, so that when the third one goes out, hopefully we can get the fourth one in a quick proceedings. Now, things like student loan forgiveness and Social Security increases of $200 per month, and the other things that we've seen, which off the top of my head, I don't really recall at the moment, but these other buckets of stimulus checks and stimulus packages that we've kind of seen and we've heard a lot on student loan forgiveness of at least $10,000. Those are expected to either come in standalone bills, presidential executive orders, or in the fourth stimulus check package. So I will keep you up to date on all these different things, as well as mortgage and rental assistance, and the hazard pay, and the sick leave pay, and the funeral pay, where they'll pay for a funeral $7,000. Yeah, so we cover it all here on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed down below. Click the bell icon so you get notifications when we go live, and share this video with your friends and family so that they know about these different buckets of money and can claim them if they're eligible also. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.